now I guess we can get started. Although, to be honest, I don't remember exactly what we were doing. Like, I remember that we were in the middle of setting up this factory, obviously. I can't remember what the last thing we did was or what the next thing we need to do is. So we have this whole row of wire set up. We have this row of assemblers, well, mostly set up. Let's fix that problem. So those are the stators. And they are getting wire and steel pipes. Did I hook the steel pipes into these stators? Is that something that I still have to do? Yes, it is. Alright, and then these 5 were the steel pipes. Alright, let's just remember, yep, that's 15 steel pipes out of there. And up we go. And these use 15 each. Alright, yep. Alright, it's starting to come back to me. So we take these, move them over here, and then we just put them in. Alright. So these all get those. Alright, and then the lifts all go in there. And now we just need to get these into those. Which I guess we can just do something like that. That's going to be too long. Yeah, that's going to be too long as well. Alright, so then that goes into there. Ah, I've very nearly boxed myself in. Yeah, and we actually can't do this with straight belts because the space needs to be conserved. Alright, so let's make those curved belts then. And this can go to there and then in. And then this one can come around there and in there. Just 2 more to go. Alright, why is the curve not working there? Just do a regular shape then. And 1 more to go. I can't put my finger on it. Something feels weird about the stream today. I don't know if my earbuds are in differently or something. But we're just going to ignore that and move on. Alright, so that is the pipes attached to the stators. And also, I seem to have almost entirely boxed myself in. I found my way out. Cool. Alright. So now we get out. Ah. Rats. Okay. I can save this. I can save this. Please. Why is it so difficult to snap onto a ladder? There we go. Make our way back up. Alright, so we have a gajillion cables here. And we have our stators there. So we should be good to do final assembly. Let's just build that up onto another floor. Alright, so we go walls. And build that up a bit. Needs to be higher, obviously. So that can be the logistics floor. And we need another wall to get a ladder up. Up we go. And there we go. And the main floor. Alright, now we just have to bring the ladder up there as well. Alright. Now we have this. So, what we need to do is, first of all, expand this floor out a little bit and probably do some stuff on the logistics floor as well. So we need an assembler making automated wiring. So we need to get 50 cable and 2.5 stators to each of these. Now, if I recall correctly, this cable here comes in batches of 30. Oh, right, that first one has been underclocked for reasons, probably. Yes, for good reasons, in fact. Because this is 480 plus 20. Yeah, okay. Past me knew what I was doing. Good. So most of these are in batches of 30. So I need to get these batches of 30 into batches of 50. Which I guess the way we would do that is we would take, let's actually build this so that I can have something to look at and remind me of what I'm doing. So we have one of them split off, which, let's see, that one would merge into there, and then again into there. So wait, we shouldn't be doing that with these two, because those two are confusing, because they just add up to a batch of 50. So we should do it with these two. Alright, so let's get a merger there, a splitter there, and another merger in between. So that's 30. That's 30. Which means that's 10 plus 10 plus 10. So now we have that, which is a belt of 50, but we need to send this somewhere. So that's 10, right? So if we make this a merger, then this belt is 40, and this sends its 10 there, and the other 20 over here. Alright, so we have this weird semi-alternating pattern. Which hopefully will work. Alright, so that is an output one. So we have 50, 100, 150. Yeah, that looks right. Alright, then in order to repeat this pattern, it's batches of 1, 2, 3, 4 batches of 5 constructors, and it's merger, merger, splitter. Alright. This is going to be very difficult to memorize, so I think we're just going to have to figure it out as we go. So that gets a merger, that gets a splitter, put a merger between. Nice if I had a convenient way of standardizing this, but it's not quite clicking in my brain how this is like a pattern. So that twists around there. So I have to make sure that all of those belts connect up. That could be a site of missing stuff. Alright, then we get another merger there, which gets... No, don't do that. You go in there. This merger is facing the wrong way. That is why it was being uncooperative. So you go there, and you get that. And that. And I think we're going to just standardize having this belt coming out there. Then you get a splitter, 10 of which goes there, 5 of which goes there, or not 5 of which, I don't know why I said 5. So 20 goes around that way, and in. Alright. So that's another one of those, and we just have to keep repeating this pattern, I think only 1 or 2 more times. So that gets a splitter, or a merger, then a merger, then you get a splitter, and we connect all of these things in, and bring that forward. It would have been easier to merge them all up and just make a 1 to 10. Probably would have been, but this is kind of neat too, so that's fine. So we have that. Goes in there. And then we have the other 10 goes this way. And then this gets a splitter, 10 goes that way, 20 goes this way, and that's the last one. Alright, so that is that. Now let's just run along and hopefully I haven't missed anything important. Just doing checks. It looks good to me. And so these are batches of 50. There should be 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I count wrong there? There should be 10 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why are there only 9 of them? Oh, right. It's because the first batch of 50 is the freebie from the underclocked one. So we just take these two. And we just merge them together. And that's number 10. Alright. So that is that. So we have those 10, which can just go directly into the assemblers. Then we have these 5, which I guess we split them all 1 to 2 and then send them directly into the assemblers. So let's get those set up. Why does it say that belt is too steep? That doesn't even make sense. It's completely flat. Alright, so that is 2. Make sure to connect all of these up. 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, then that gets split into 2. And that gets split into 2. And this one gets split into 2. And this one. Alright, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these as well. Alright, so now we just have to send these up to the logistics floor, move them around to get them to line up with the inputs, and then we will be good to go. Also, this ladder is not the most convenient ladder in the world. Can I just put a foundation out there for me to stand on? There we go. Alright, so this line of automated wiring, we will then have it, I guess, just go along here if it'll fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and blow up a tree. And a little bit further. Okay. Alright. So that's those, and interesting. That sure is a power tower platform sitting there. Alright. This is fine, we can fix this. We just need to move it ever so slightly. Connect it over to there. So let's just take that power tower out. And rebuild it. Actually, we need to make sure that it's connected to that one. So we just send it over there. And then connect it over there, and fixed. We might have accidentally disconnected power to a small power pole or something, but that's fine. Easily fixed. Alright, so now we need to get all of these floor holes in. And then once the floor holes are in, we put the lifts in. once the lifts are in, we can belt them up. Alright, so then that... Pretty sure just all of these are going to go in from the logistics floor. Hopefully shouldn't be completely impossible to do it this way. We might have to bring some of them up to this floor just for belt crossing purposes. Alright, so now we come down here. And bring the floor over. Let's get up onto it using the ladder. Up we go. And now we expand this out like this. And send it a bit further so that it's underneath all of these. Alright, so now we need to bring it over this. And over like that. And like that. Okay, now we drop down. And we do need one more foundation along that. And correspondingly one more foundation above. Like so. Alright, now we just put some floor holes in, preferably lining up with where these are. And just keep popping these in. And there we go. Alright, now we bring the lifts down. And then we can bring these up. Alright. And one more. Alright, so that's all that. Now we just hook the belts into the lifts. And a couple more, and done. Alright, so those are all set up. Now we go up here and dismantle that. I don't think anything important was resting on it. Alright, so now we just have to take these into 10 of those. So we put the top half of the lifts on. Alright, so those are in. Now we come over here and these get every other. My poor iron plate supply is hopefully going to be able to last. But we will see. So then these belts just go across into these. And yeah, they're definitely, these are definitely more compact than those. Alright, let's build out the floor a little bit more. But just about there. 2, And 3. Alright. So those are all of the... whatever those were. Can't even remember. Modular frames, I think? Or stators, right. So there's all the stators in. Now we just need to do the same for these 10 belts over here. Which means bringing this logistics floor over there. And over we go. Alright, and I think we also need that to be covered. Alright, so now we just drop down here. Okay, apparently we need one more foundation. Alright, so now these all have to go in. And we're just going to put them on the split between these two foundations, just because that's a reasonably consistent distance to put them. Okay, and this needs to expand the rest of the way over there. We did that. So now we need to do this one. Then we come over here. And there. And there. Alright. Now we drag the lifts down. And once again, hope that the iron plate input into the dimensional storage is somehow miraculously better than it is. Imagine how much worse this would be if I hadn't upgraded the storage as well. Alright, that one doesn't quite line up. Let's fix that. Shifting it over there. We'll have to run some pretty long belts to get these to the assemblers, which means we're probably doomed in terms of not having to wait for iron plates to refill. And I think it'll be easier to just head back and grab a bunch of iron plates. Alright, so now we have all of those in. We can fill all of the belts through. And a couple more. Alright, that's that. Now it's all up to here. The ladder in. And we put all of these in. And these are going to involve a huge amount of just belts moving things from a very distant location. The sprawl of this factory sort of got away from me in this direction. Not really avoidable. I guess I could have like curved that around, but that would have made it much more complicated. Alright, so now we need more space on this floor to run all of these belts, because 10 belts is not a small amount of belts. Alright, so we have that. Now we have to put these in. And as soon as our plates are empty, I'm going to probably just click respawn and grab some more plates. I really need to go exploring again so that I can get access to enough, what are they called? Enough Mercer spheres so that the belts can, so that the dimensional storage can work fast enough to keep up with this, because like manually placing ordinary belts, yeah, okay, we're out. Manually placing ordinary belts should not be a cause for a shortage. Alright, we're back. Iron plates, iron plates, iron plates. Which one of all of these many, many things is iron plates? So this is iron plates. Although I took the thing off. So this is a deactivated iron plates. Where's the actual iron plates box? That's like the one that I'm actually using. Who knows? Certainly not me. Once we get to phase 3 and we unlock trains and stuff, we're going to I have to head east, not west. Once we get to the next phase and we unlock trains and all that stuff, we're going to make it a point to make mega scale factories for everything, including iron plates. Actually, is this? No, that's rods. Yeah, this side of the things is all rods, pretty much. Yeah, I actually have no idea where the iron plate dimensional storage is at the moment. I'm sure it's somewhere. There's definitely an iron plate dimensional storage somewhere in the factory, but I just don't know where it is. Alright, so we're just going to head east super quick. So fast we take fall damage. It's always a good sign. Alright. Move so fast we don't take any poison damage. And unfortunately lose all of our momentum. Alright, there it is, just up here. Right past the coal plant. Alright, so we need to get up. We need to get up that cliff, which hopefully will just mean hitching a ride on this power tower. Up we go. What? Okay, it just threw me the wrong way. That's cool. Alright, there we go. And now we can just get up this line. And all the way over. And perfect. We're back. Alright, so let's expand this out even one more, just to be sure. And now we start taking this. Actually, take from depot first. That helps the inventory supplies last a little bit longer. Alright, then we grab that one. And we bring it along. And it goes in there. And then we head back. I could run belts heading both ways. That would be more time efficient. Alright, so this one comes along. And in there. Then just keep expanding this out. Alright, then this one. Grab the belt. Send it back this way. And in. Then we grab this one. Send it over this way. it's going to take so long for all of these belts to make it through and up to speed. Like the cable on these belts, they're very long belts, which means very long wait for the items to make it from one side to the other. Obviously it doesn't matter in the long run, but like the first 5 minutes or so will be marginally slower. Alright, now we drag this one back. And just keep it going. And in there. Now let's expand this floor out a little bit so that I have the space. And then I grab this one. And it is going to come all the way over here. Yeah, the number of plates we used in this one belt setup is kind of enormous. Alright, but that's that. And I believe that is just about everything. So now we just need to hook the final output up, power everything on, and call it a day. So this is going to be 25 of these, so we can fit it into a single Mark 1 belt, no problem. Which will probably usually be the case. Alright. That goes along. And a couple more. Alright. Now we just have to set up the final output. So we get an industrial storage container, a smart splitter, which is facing the wrong way. That's why that's not working. And then that goes in, and we say left overflow, and put in a sink. Alright, so now we just hook all of this stuff up with the belts. Alright. It's kind of surprising that that managed to go in correctly instead of doing that weird wraparound thing it tried to do. Alright, so these all go through. And done. Alright, so we have that. Now it's just a question of power. So let's get Mark II pole in and start attaching stuff up. And we get another power pole to do the rest of these machines. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we get another power pole over here to get the sink. And then we drop down to the next floor. So we get a power pole there. And then we attach all of these up. So those all get one single power pole. Then we put in another one. We attach all those. And then we keep going over here, where these are going to take a bunch of power poles to get set up. so we gotta just work through them. Then we get another one which can go like there. So it's relatively centralized on the machines it's affecting. Alright, and another. Gosh, it's crazy how many machines there are of this. Just the fused wire it's really kind of astonishingly efficient. But also takes a lot of work to produce in large quantities. Alright, and I haven't been counting these last couple, but hopefully that means we'll have some spares. Yeah. Alright, so that's all of them set up. So now we just need to get these smelters here. So let's power all of this stuff up. And get another power pole. And attach it into all of these. Alright, so that is this entire floor. Next floor down is logistics, and this should, I believe, be the bottom floor. So now we power these on. Alright, that's all of those. So then we have to get these smelters. And another one. Almost done with the power. I believe these smelters are probably the last machines. Alright. Then we have these, which were powered on previously, but I disconnected the thing. And I think probably good to go. So we power all that on. Okay. So this is this whole thing, and it's 722 megawatts. Ah, so this is only connected into the stuff here. Right, that's fine, actually. I prefer that. This means we get to check all of this stuff. So 722 megawatts is not a lot. Then we got this one, which is the power from home, and we have 1,500 spare megawatts, so it should be more than enough. So you get to be Power Pole Mark II. You get to be a power line. And now hopefully all of this stuff will successfully just turn on. And so the first thing we need to do is look for anything that is showing as red. Which, there's one. Not a surprise. This one didn't get a recipe. So for whatever reason, the recipe just wasn't pasted properly to that one. That fix easy enough. So all of these are working as intended. The copper is going up. The steel pipes are starting to go out. Except for this one, which is a bit delayed because of that whole situation. Alright, so this first floor is looking good so far. Now, how do we get up? This ladder. Alright, so now we just have to look here. Got plenty of Caterium ingots going around. Climb up over that. These all look normal. Alright, I see a whole lot of yellow, which is good. I'm not seeing any red, which is good. The yellow is good for now, because obviously it's taking the stuff time to warm up. And these further away machines will be considerably longer to receive their Caterium ingots, and then considerably longer to output the cables back to the whole situation over here. So we're just gonna have to wait for those. Meanwhile, these should be turning on relatively swiftly. It's not getting any steel pipes. That one is. It was just delayed a little bit. This one isn't getting any wire. Alright, so these ones over here are not getting any wire. Is that... Right, so this whole situation is speed balanced. I think there's... Yeah, there we go. We were missing an intermediate belt in there. And now the whole thing should be working just fine. If that were connected up, that is. Is this entire thing just not... Yeah, okay. Couple sloppy mistakes on this particular thing, but we can fix them relatively easily. Similar problems here, perhaps. There we go. Alright, so that should be that. Assuming I've done the math right, all of these should go out. Alright, yeah, these are looking good. Stator production is cooking along now. It's looking like 100%. So then we have all of this cable-related stuff. So this doesn't look like it's outputting enough. Okay. Yeah, so I forgot to power up all of those machines. So let's get this in and start getting these set up. So that, then this gets all of these. Alright, so that's those. Now we head over to these ones. And powered. Alright, one more. And done. Alright. So now that all of those are going, these should work properly. And that should be the cable, which means that we should be on the brink of having the entire factory going. So definitely not a perfect startup, but pretty good. Yeah, here Here come the cable. Looking around 30-ish. It's looking more than 30, honestly, in some of these belts. That's fine. The first couple should probably be starting now. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be up to 50, not 30. And it's a good thing it looks like more than 30 on some of those belts. Alright, yeah, the first automated wiring is officially being produced. It's going to take all of these trickling along to get there. And obviously it's going to be hard to tell immediately whether there are any problems. But let's make sure the entire thing is up and running before we go too crazy into the bug fixing. But we should be about to get some stuff on this belt back here. Yeah, there we go. First automated wiring in the factory. It's being followed by a lot more. Alright. These still have not quite hit the automated wiring assemblers yet, but we are getting there. It's just the last, really the last half that haven't started up yet. And once everything is started up, we'll be able to tell whether things are stable or not. Alright, gosh, see, giant belt avenues like this, if I could just make this like orderly and neat, it would look so cool. It looks very janky right now. But if I could just get these organized, it would be the most satisfying thing possible. Alright. But it looks like pretty much just the last one isn't receiving cables now. So those should be going up any second. And yeah, it is now, that one, second to last one is starting. The last one is receiving cables. It'll be done in like half a minute. And the whole factory should be turning on now. So this is officially running. We love to see it. Alright, so we have that running. Anything else that looks like it might be a problem? The copper ingots going in look normal. I see a whole lot of green, which is always a good sign. When I peek into the machines themselves, I'm seeing 100%. So that is good. The deuterium ingots are real weird looking, stacked vertically like that. I don't know if that was actually like the best way of doing that, but probably better than using a logistics floor or something. So all of these are going along nicely. And yeah, honestly, everything looks good. At least for now. I'm not seeing any problems. There's a little guy there. Hello, lizard doggo. Alright, let's see here. We go around here. The lizard doggo is taking a stroll through the factory. And let's climb up to here. Can I make this jump? Barely. And yeah, we already have a good number of it. And so all of these are running at 100%. At least the last one is. Let's investigate a random one in the middle. Looks normal. And then one of the ones up here. Yeah, I think this is a relatively smooth setup. Some errors had to be fixed, but I think we got all of them. Just like on that first pass through. And this looks like it is going at 100%, and that's 25 automated wiring a minute, which is pretty good. And it doesn't look it. It doesn't look like 25 automated wiring a minute from out here. It should be almost half a belt, right? Which really doesn't look like. But I guess they do sort of come out in bursts, so it's sort of hard to tell. Sort of hard to tell, but this could be almost half a belt at least. Let's put a whatchamacallit on. Throughput monitor. It should show 25. The sink. We did remember to power up the sink. That's good. It's showing 21, 23, 27. Yeah, so I think it's probably just going to be a bit bursty, like in terms of giant waves of them come through. That's like 30 or 40 a minute, and then it's 0 a minute other times. But we do have already enough to complete the phase. And it's been like a couple minutes. And yeah, it's showing 25 now. Or about there. Alright, it's showing 24 a minute. Oh, here's 98% efficiency. Problem spotted. Potentially. Are all of these 98%? Or is it just that one weirdo? And is that one weirdo at 98% for any reason, or did something strange just happen with the splitting? Alright, there's just that one weird one. Let's investigate it just to make sure. If I can even find it. It might have... Yeah, it's this one. So, how are you 98% efficiency? It's going to be because of the cables. There's plenty of stators. So that would be these two, which corresponds to this one. So if we just follow this belt back, do we find anything weird on the other side? So we get 100% there, 100% there, 100% there. It all looks normal, so that's probably just some weird fluke. I'm going to say it's just some weird fluke and nothing to worry about. Alright, that is that. I see this whole line all seems to be working. Oh wait, do I see a yellow there? I do. This machine was briefly yellow. because of a lack of deuterium. Okay, so that could be the source of that mysterious problem. So every so often, one of these is missing a deuterium ingot. Is that like a perpetual problem with this one? No. It's probably just like randomly one doesn't get through every so often. So let's follow the deuterium ingots back and see if they are going at 100% and it's just some weird like splitter variation or something. Because it very well could be just weird variance on the splitters that they're giving more in some places than others. That's 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, and none of these look like they're especially dubious 100%. Like, they're all pretty solid in terms of the deuterium ingot stored back up. So I think probably, yeah, I mean, all of these are showing 99%. Not all of them, but most of them at least. Maybe not even most of them, but just some of them. Yeah, I think it's just a problem with splitter variance, and it should probably go away, like, as the variance averages out. It shouldn't be a problem like that, but I guess it's technically possible, maybe. I don't know. Hard to say for certain, but unless the math is wrong. Is the math wrong? Could be that I'm like one deuterium ingot short across all of these machines. So these machines are 2 each. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 of these machines, 2 each, is 40. So if we head back to over here, and these machines are 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. So the math is exactly right. And clearly the splitting is at least close enough. Like, if the splitting were entirely wrong, we would not be looking at like 90 to 8%. We'd be looking at like 60%. Or we'd be looking at like one machine that's like super underperforming and one machine that has massive extra stockpiles, but that doesn't seem, at least from my previous scans, that didn't seem to be the case. I think it's probably just splitter variance. So what I mean by it is I think like the deuterium is not always getting to them at exactly the time it expects. Like, sometimes just by chance it goes to one machine more than the others. I don't really know, though. I don't fully understand. Like, this one has a backlog of 3. Okay, actually that is marginally suspicious, right? How did that one get 3 in its backlog? Are all of these showing 100% now? Because if all of these are showing 100%, I'm just going to assume that the problem doesn't exist. It was just some weirdness from just having a recently booted up factory. Alright. Just checking along, and all of these are showing 100%. Alright, so I assume it was just some weirdness from having recently booted up the factory, and it's not actually a real problem. Alright, so with that problem having been decided that it doesn't exist, we should be finished here, honestly. That was way quicker than I was expecting. I expected this to go a lot less smoothly, to be honest. So let's get up here. It still isn't showing 25, but it's probably 25, right? Like, this is the one that was showing 98%. It's up to 100. Surely I would have noticed if one of these was just straight up not working, right? But everything looks normal. Yeah, everything looks normal to me. Lots of 100%s. Alright. So that is that. Now, we just have to complete the phase, I guess. That's why we're doing all this, right? So we'll grab 100 of those. And then we need to make our way to the flexible framework factory, which is pretty much this way, and grab 1,000 flexible frameworks. And then wherever the smart plating factory is, actually the smart plating factory is here, right? Pretty sure it's around here. So we're going to grab 1,000 smart plating, and hopefully our inventory is enough for all of this. Alright, so we drop down, and may as well just do a quick inspection. All of these look normal. Don't see any yellow across the entire factory, which means it's probably good. And it's outputting to the sink. Alright, smart plating I can't speak, stacks to 50, which means we need a lot of stacks to fill up. Alright, let's clear some stuff out of the inventory. And what else? I don't need an AI limiter or 3 cable. Alright, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. I need more spots cleared. Let's get rid of concrete and 4 SAM fluctuators and 200 quick wire. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Alright. We are going to return directly to the hub, or to the space elevator specifically. So we're going to make our way back to the space elevator, throw all of this stuff in, and then make a second trip for the flexible frameworks. Alright, off we go. And using the parachute to climb weird mountains is strange but very satisfying. Actually, I should be scanning for Mercer spheres while I'm traveling. I probably grabbed the ones in this area already, but probably and definitely are 2 different things, so I may as well check. Alright. We're clear now. Oh, I replaced my mug with that. There we go. Mug is returned. Alright. Can I get there? And continue making our way to the space elevator. Off we go. And almost there. Alright, we are at the old base. I call it the old base. It's still basically the main base. And now we just have to make our way to the space elevator. Can you throw items in through this console? Yes, you can. Let's do that. And that. And now for the versatile frameworks. So those are over this way. So let's just cruise on over there and grab 1,000 of them. Over we go. Parachuting is very satisfying. Though I cannot wait until I have the jetpack. Parachute is nice to have while it exists. Alright. Almost there. Now we just need to find our way up to the very top of this whole abomination. Go up here. Oh, there's that cave, right? I don't think I've looked in there. I should poke around that cave. In the meantime, see a whole lot of green lights. Don't see any yellow lights. That looks good. Alright, we didn't quite make it all the way up to the top. Let's ladder up the rest of the way. Still a bunch of green. Alright. If it's not at 100%, it's at 99%. Which is pretty good. Alright. Up we go. And we are outputting to primarily the sink at this point. And a couple random tests. Looks like 100% production. So no need to make any fixes here. Let's just grab them and go. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Alright, yep. Just double counted to make sure. And now we head back one more time and complete the phase. Let's grab this. Let's grab this yellow slug while we're in the area. And another one. And grab this one before I land directly on it. And that one. Alright. Power slug acquired. So we are at this point like desperately behind on exploration. We need to grab a bunch of hard drives, but mostly a bunch of Mercer spheres and summer sloops. which is, I think we're going to do that before we do any more stuff on the old, in terms of like mega factory building. Where? How have I gotten turned around? The thing I'm looking for is the most visible thing on the entire planet. I somehow managed to lose where it was. I'm very bad with directions. Alright, making our way over almost to the space elevator. And up we go. And all right, we're in the base again. So let's just make it the rest of the way. And we're at the space elevator. So now we throw all these in, and please say I counted correctly. I did. All right. Off to phase 2.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation.
Oh boy.
Congratulations, the Phase 2 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 2 will be completed and the construction dock will be constructed. After completion of Phase 2, the technologies of Tiers 5 and 6 will become available in the hub.
This is the big one.
These may feel intimidating after your previous experience, but rest assured that you would not be here if you were entirely incompetent. Highlights are oil production, railway transportation, the jetpack.
Cannot wait to have the jetpack.
Completing Phase 3 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. Just remember to focus on producing and delivering the project parts, and fix its faith in you will be strengthened.
Alright, there we go. Send it off. And there it goes. And launch. Alright.
Phase 2 of Project Assembly completed.
It's Phase 2 complete.
You have been performing more adequately under pressure, and are closer than ever to saving the day. Perhaps you were the right choice for the job. Time will tell. You will now
so the versatile
enter Phase
frameworks
3
are
of
already
Project
done,
Assembly.
fortunately.
Continue as you are, and there should be no issue. For humanity. For Fix-It.
Alright. That's that. Another phase complete. And back to the hub. Back to the hub to see what we can unlock. Done everything in Tier 4. So now we're up to Tier 5. So the jetpack, we need motors, which I would need to automate. Oil processing also needs motors. Logistics Mark 4 needs oil stuff. Fluid packaging needs plastic. Petroleum power, obviously. Alright, so yeah, looks like our next goal is motors. Which is going to be a whole thing. So, motors. So, we need 2 rotors and 2 stators to make 1 motor. And since this is the mega scale factory, we are going to be making a very silly amount of motors. It's going to require a lot of stators and a lot of rotors. So first let's get over to the man and see if... do we have any relevant hard drives for this? Copper rotor is a potential, but I don't know. See, cast screws is actually kind of useless, so I think I'm going to rescan this. And rigger motor would just be, it would just make it much harder. because of the way we're doing this. And let's do that again. Alright. All of these are like fine, but not amazing. I think we leave them. And do I start planning now or do I go exploration? I think I go exploring. I really need more stuff. So let's get this all set up. Go to the... I have to find my save file and then load it into the interactive map. Factory game, saved. Alright, then we have this one. And we open that up. And reveal all map. Alright, now I want to unselect all layers and show drop pods. Alright. So, where are the next drop pods? If we head down the south coast, or if we head down the west coast, we can grab a bunch. Yeah, there are a ton down there that we can grab. Nice and easy. And let's also be scanning for Mercer spheres as we go. And heading down the south coast should also get us to another starter area where there should be even more. So the plan is to just like fill up on all the stuff we could ever want. Alright, we have a Mercer sphere on the scanner. Please say it's not in some weird underground cave. Please just be obvious. Okay, it is in some weird underground cave, but I happen to find it immediately. Alright, collecting Mercer sphere. Mercer sphere collected. Alright, so aside from that weird hole in the ceiling, how do we get out of this weird underground cave? Out through here. Alright, that's convenient. So we just keep heading south. Sorry about that. So we just keep heading south until we run across another Mercer sphere. Or did I ever put the summer sloops to be able to scan for them? I should be able to, right? Yeah, I can do that research.
Summer sloop analysis completed. Summer sloops are somewhere between battery and conduit,
gotta scan for those every
harvesting
so
energy
often.
from pockets of space with complete disregard for the rules of the space-time continuum, and distributing it into its connected ecosystem. This energy is pulled
Alright,
directly
there's
from
another Mercer
distant
sphere over
sources
this
with
way.
no latency or loss, and shows significant enough similarities to the hypothetical force of dark energy to potentially be one and the same. It can now be tracked by the object scanner.
Let the effigies harvest until the waves reach
Alright,
our
there it
shores.
is.
Consume.
Now the Mercer sphere. Yoink. And we keep heading southwest-ish. Till eventually we will reach the next hard drive. Alright, there's a summer sloop right over here. It's a good thing I thought to scan for it. I'd imagine it's going to be up there. So let's ladder on up. And grab. Alright, so we got that. And we keep moving. I really wish you could scan for 2 things at once. It would be handy. Alright, approaching a Mercer sphere. Oh, I see it. Right past this power slug, which I will also grab. Because why not? So now we grab this Mercer sphere. Hopefully this will be enough that I can safely upgrade input speed. Alright. So the hard drive we're looking for is up there. Requires quartz crystals. We're gonna have to climb a gigantic cliff to get to it. But that's what ladders are for. Up we go. And with parachute, we don't have to climb up directly next to it. We can just sort of go up over here and then shoot over. It would be nice if I could find some motors at a hard drive spot, just so that I can get a jetpack. That would be very handy. Also, this is insanely high up. Why is it this many ladders up? Alright, I'm gonna go one more ladder up, and hopefully this will be enough to parachute over. Yeah, should be just about. Alright, here we are. And hard drive. And dismantle it. Grab a whole bunch of crystal oscillators. Some other stuff which I can't produce at the moment, including some computers. Alright, none of the crash debris here is going to dismantle into anything useful. So we just put the hard drive in the MAM, give a scan, and we keep moving. So the next one is going to also be up at around this height over there. In fact, I can see it. Barely see it off in the distance. I apparently already grabbed that one. I think. Let's head over and dismantle it anyways, just to be thorough. This also might be there's one that I can't get in this vicinity, although I think that's further over that way. Yeah, so we already visited this one, so we can dismantle that. And none of this loot is interesting. Alright, the Mercer sphere seems far out of the way. So I think we just ignore it. And ladder back up. Got a lot of climbing and exploring to do. So up we go. Up one more. And alright, there is a Mercer sphere in this direction. Alright, let's see if we can find it. Right here. Right in the middle of all this uranium. So let's just grab it and go. Alright, so then the next hard drive is that one. There's another Mercer Sphere down there. And another Power Slug here. Grab the Power Slug. Drop down to grab this Mercer Sphere. And got it. And back up we go. Up we go, up we go, up we go. Climb up to the top of this cliff. And now we're on. Alright, there's another Mercer Sphere over that way. The hard drive is over this way, however, so I'm going to make sure to grab that. Alright, here we are. Oh wait, okay. Lots of uranium, and this one needs silica. Let's grab that. And head back in. Nice and quick, thank you. Oh my gosh, he's walking straight towards me. Okay. Got it without much radiation. Now let's just dismantle it from afar. And head towards this Mercer Sphere that's supposedly over here. There it is, I see it. Alright. That's another one of those. Alright, then just down by the side of the water there should be another one. That's a yellow power slug, which I guess should be right around worth grabbing. Alright, got it. There's a Mercer Sphere around here. See if I can detect it from the sky. There it is, I think. Yeah, that's it. Alright, another one of those. And there's the hard drive. Should be a nice, convenient, no requirement one, and I think there's another one on those islands over there somewhere. Alright. Hard drive, check. Dismantle you. Grab some rubber. Ooh, there's some motors at least. And I'll dismantle that piece of crash debris since it's quite large. Oh, heavy modular frames. Fun. Alright, there should be another one just off to the west on those islands over there. So let's get over there. And do a bit of swimming. Alright, here we are. There's also Mercer Sphere on the scanner. And a yellow power slug, which I will grab. Oh. Stay over here, away from those. Alright, the Mercer Sphere is over this way. No idea which island the hard drive is on, just that it's out here somewhere. Mercer Sphere is going to be in this pile of rocks. Let's blast that away. And grab the sphere.
Okay. fluids and veins are grown, and bones are dug into our walls. The temple gift is being desecrated. Our notes are sour still.
Yeah, okay, that was just a weird lag.
Our journeys.
Patterns are starting to emerge in vocabulary, sentence structure, topics. How fascinating to once again solve a true mystery, to be unable to create any accurate predictions.
Alright, let's... Oh, missed that. And there we go. That should let us run through this area. Gosh, there are a lot of poison pillars out here, huh? There's also a summer sloop. That's fun. It's gonna be in these rocks up here, I guess. Boom. And another one. And really, a third? There we go. That's another summer's loop. And the hard drive is over there. So now we just make our way over there. And is that another Mercer Sphere off on the other side of this island? I believe it is. Grab some rubber, some computers, some packaged fuel, some plastic. Inventory is still doing mostly fine. Get that. Dismantle you. And then make our way over to this Mercer Sphere. Alright, that's another one of those. Making serious progress on the Mercer Sphere collecting. Also, there's some crazy sounds happening outside. Don't know what that's about. Let's dismantle the larger piece of debris again, just for the sake of neatness. Alright, now we head south again. And there should be another one, which just requires crystal oscillators. Ooh, man research is finished. That's fun. Alright, so can we get this in? We need 103 fluctuators. We could do it, but it would take forever. Let's definitely do that before we do our next construction, but for now, it's going to be more time efficient to just run hard drive researches and do exploration. Jeez, crazy storm out. Might lose power. Hopefully not. That would be annoying, but might lose power. It would be especially annoying because in theory I should have a battery backup for my computer so that I can continue running as long as the interruption isn't super long. However, battery backup doesn't work, so I can't use it. Which means it almost wouldn't be a problem, but it is a problem instead. Alright, so we need to get up here. And climb this. And a couple more ladders. This ought to be high enough. Alright, then the Mercer Sphere is... Well, actually, what? Oh, there it is. Inside. Alright. Got that. And... should be a hard drive just like up there, maybe? There's another Mercer Sphere close by. Yeah, down there. Well, not gonna skip a Mercer Sphere when I have the opportunity to grab it. So we get it, and yoink. Another Mercer Sphere down. And now we just need... Well, there's this... Okay, there's a summer sloop somewhere, maybe. Alright. We need to gain height again. So let's ladder on up. And see if we can see the hard drive from up above. It should be close-ish, I think. Alright, do I... Yes, I do. It's right there. Actually, what does this need? Crystal oscillators. Do I have those in my inventory? Yes. Alright, as long as we're quick. Grab. Dismantle. And retreat. Not gonna be able to loot that one just because I have to leave quickly to not die of uranium. Alright, so then there's another one which requires power right around here as well. So let's get a foundation to stand on. And it should be like in that pond type thing up there. So if we go... Great. Now we float over. There's a Mercer Sphere in this general vicinity. It's going to be up there, probably. Let's climb up there and grab the Mercer Sphere. Up we go. And it ought to be right here. Yep, there it is. Alright, that's that. And then the hard drive should be down by this water. Yeah, there it is. There's a power slug. Purple power slug even. Let's definitely make sure to grab that. Okay. And then if this Mercer Sphere is elevated, I want to grab it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's just drop down and get the hard drive here. So, does this have any interesting loot? Not really. Alright, so let's make our way on over to it. And yeah, it needs 60 megawatts of power, which easily done. That is just 2 biomass burners. I keep a significant amount on me at all times for this exact reason. And yoink. Alright, so then we dismantle all that stuff and the crash site. Alright, now we have to head south, where there's another 2. How are we doing on hard drives? We have 4 right now, and we've managed to do like 1 scan, so we're doing pretty well on hard drive collection. I'd like to grab a ton here and sort of be all caught up to the point where I have all the recipes available up to this point. Alright. Where is this? I don't want to pass it. It's going to be up there. So I think it should be on the other side of this little thing, but up like there somewhere. Oh good, a bot. I was starting to get worried that there's something wrong with my stream, that people weren't finding it. It's always a good sign. Alright, so then we have to just grab a rotor. Let's check that box, just make sure. Alright, another hard drive. And dismantle that. Steel pipes, concrete. Dismantle the other large crash debris. Mercer sphere close this way. There it is. I see it. And we managed to get the parachute jump. And another Mercer sphere down.
Look through the effigy only sings when you
Alright.
compose.
Then the
I
next
was not
one
built to use organic components for communication. I am
is over
adjusting.
there.
The effigies make a flow. You are not the current.
I am not sure what you mean. I do run on a current. I am a
So
digital
let's get
construct.
over there. And then this one will require one modular frame. Alright, the parachute has not helped me there. Let's ladder on up, and here we go. Alright, modular frame, and hard drive. Alright. That's that. Then the next one is around there. Let's make our way over. Now we have to be a little careful not to fall into the void on accident. It is right over there. Ooh, and the MAM research is finished. Alright, so let's pop that down. And send another one through. Alright, so we should just be able to parachute over this way. And there's a Mercer sphere over here as well for us to get. It's always nice to have. Although I don't see it. Is it going to be one of these annoying cave ones? Please just be... Alright, no, it's probably just up on this cliff up here.
Your waves laugh at our shores.
Yep,
When
here
will
it
you
is.
learn?
Alright. Mercer sphere, check. And no summer sloops in the area either. So we just keep on heading this way until we run into another hard drive. Alright. Just parachuting along. Looking for... Oh, I see a Mercer sphere. Saw it just moments before it showed up on the scanner. There it is over there. And the hard drive we're looking for is just a bit further. Yeah, these ones around the edge are relatively cheap in terms of the resources you need, but also kind of sparse. Like, they're not every 5 feet like they are in the middle. So let's grab you. And then keep heading this way where we should encounter a hard drive. Although I'm not seeing it. Might be on this. Yeah, it should be right around here. There it is. Alright, give you some copper sheets and grab a hard drive. And let's see, any interesting loot? Nope. This is a beginner area, so that's not surprising. Alright. Let's head on over here. There's a summer sloop around here. There's also a fun little cave for us to go into. Which this cave will probably have the summer sloop in it. Kind of a giant cave. Oh, poison. Okay. Let's blow some stuff up. And now we get the closer one, which I should have gone for first. And they are everywhere. So let's just get both of those. And then there's this one as well. Ooh, that was too short. Alright. Keep on doing the exploration. Gotta be something. This cave is gigantic. I don't think I've seen it before either. How have I missed something this big? Alright, so we've got random, not very interesting loot lying around. And, okay, I see the summer sloop. Way over there. Oh, this is... Oh, this is the sand by the giant arch. I found a way in. I've been here. Okay. So we need to get rid of all of those. And then ladder on up. Grab the summer sloop. And success. And there seems to also be a Mercer sphere nearby. Possibly just like at the top of this chasm. Let's head up. See if gaining height will tell us that it's closer or not. Although it's going to be hard to tell because we can't look at it and also go up. Feels closer. Alright, let's get rid of that poison plant and then get over there. So, okay. Land here. We need to get out of this, which means getting directly underneath the sun so that we can just ladder up, not hit a ceiling. Alright. We are clear. And the Mercer sphere is this way. Is it in these rocks? Yes, it is. Alright. There we go. Mercer sphere acquired. up to 21 currently. And then blast our way out. There's another one around here as well. Let's see if we can find that one. It's up there on that pillar. Up we go. Up we go. We might need a little bit more ladder just to be sure we can make it up. And another Mercer Sphere for me. Alright. Now where are we? So there's another one like there and another one like there. So let's poke around and see if we can find them. Alright, hard drive, where are you? Also, surely the last man research is finished by now. No, still got 2 whole minutes left. Alright, we need 40 megawatts, so that is just 2 biomass generators. Hook them up. Give you some power. Give you some power. Power it up. Hard drive. Done. Alright, so that is that. Next, we head southeast. And, oh, there's a Mercer Sphere right over here. Gotta grab that. Might be able to get like 2 upgrades of speed after this.
If I had a body, it would be a temple.
You have no body.
Alright.
I don't
Head
think we're
this
on
way.
the same line here.
You see lines where there are curves, shallows where there are depths.
It's like a 5-foot cliff.
I will continue
Just let me
gathering
know.
data, I suppose.
Alright. We're up the 5-foot cliff. Now we head over this way. There's a Mercer Sphere in this general direction. And also, there should be a hard drive around here somewhere. Oh yeah, you know they love to put a Mercer Sphere and all that nonsense. Alright, so now the man research finishes. Got our stator alt recipe, that's nice. Alright, I'm currently standing in the poison. It's the only way to get a line of sight on that. Alright, it seems to just be over this way. Yeah, no, it's going to be underground in this cave down here. So let's blast our way in. And grab another stack of Nobelisks. I was clicking and wondering why nothing was happening. Alright, so let's get down here. Grab this yellow power slug. And another poison pillar down. And another one further ahead. That seems like that shouldn't have reached back that far. Is there one above? There is. Alright, I think we got it. Alright, how do I get into that wall? down here. Yes, here we go. And boom. Mercer Sphere acquired. Alright. So no more Mercer Spheres in this general vicinity. Well, apparently there is one this way. But I need to be heading south, not north, for the next hard drive. So let's do that. Yeah, so it should be right around there. Alright, off we go. It should be in or around this crater. By the east side, it looks like. Yeah, there it is. Alright. And no resources required. We just get the door open. Now we can tear the two big parts out and keep her moving. Mercer Sphere over this way, which we will grab. There it is, at the bottom of this small pond. There we go. Another Mercer Sphere this way. Let's see if we can find it. Okay. It's gotta be... How am I not seeing this? Is it like in a tree? It's probably like in a tree or something, huh? Let's get some altitude, see if we can look down on it from above. Ah, it's... Where? It sounds like I'm right on top of it. There's gotta be a cave opening somewhere that I can get into. Is the cave opening gonna be here off the edge of the map? Alright, where is it? Is anywhere along this... Oh. No. Just a fake out. Alright. Well, up we go. And up we go. Alright. Now we're here. Where is this? Okay, we need to head northeast. And just head up this way. Should find us some more stuff. Alright, we're out of range of that Mercer Sphere. And there are no summer sloops in this general vicinity either. I should be scanning for that more often. Alright. Like around there-ish. Should be some more hard drives. A couple, really. 2 or 3. Alright, no Mercer Spheres around this area. And this place is coated in vegetation, which is going to make it harder to see see where I'm going. Let's just land on that real quick and zoom in. Alright, so the first one is on top of that pillar over there. So let's head over there. And up we go. And up a little bit further. And there we go. One more ladder up. And we get this one, which needs 100 megawatts of power, which is like infinitely more annoying than the previous ones, because it requires 4 biomass burners. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And each of these gets a little bit of biomass. Then we get a power pole. And we hook everything up. And hook it up to that. Grab that. And dismantle. Alright, then tear all of these back down. And how's our inventory? Inventory is full. I don't need those. I don't need all these freaking screws. Or these rotors. Or 2 concrete. That's not going to save me anything. Let's get rid of the crash site debris as well. Grab some plastic. Might save some trouble later. Alright, then the next one is going to be across this way. Yeah, I see it. There's a Mercer sphere that was very close. But pretty much just missed it at this point. There's another one down here. Yeah, I'll drop down and grab this. Mercer spheres are still valuable. And we're just going to have to ladder right back up.
Helping meant leaving it.
Our blood will eat, build, teach.
And
I
up
have
we
no
go.
use for blood.
You do, consume.
One more.
Interesting.
Alright. Now we can parachute across to this one. And goodbye, poison plant. The MAM is finished. So we have another batch of those done, and another one put in. I need a stack of encased industrial beams for this one. So do that. And dismantle. And dismantle the big piece. Man, there's actually like 0 interesting debris around here, huh? Alright, so now we need to head a little bit west, up there, in order to get another. So up we go, and we ladder on up. And we keep on going up. And we keep on going up. And we keep on going up. One more. And this should be plenty of height. Unless it's at the literal absolute peak, which I don't think it is. Ought to be a hard drive around here somewhere. Alright, no, we have to go further up again. Up we go. And hard drive. Alright, now we drop down onto this one. We need steel beams. So let's grab that. Dismantle you, dismantle the main debris. And inventory is full. Just gonna get rid of a stack or two of iron plates. Alright, so that is good for that one. And we're getting into some of the harder areas. I think, I mean, we got a lot, right? Like we have, I think that should be fine for now at least. Gonna respawn. Back to the hub. So we have stuff to do. So, unlock the jetpack. We need motors. And in order to get motors, we need to build a giant, insane motor factory. Which I guess this hillside is just becoming like our planning area. So do any of these have anything convenient? Quickwire stators could be handy. Steel rotors could be handy. Ooh yeah, steel rotors could make this a lot simpler. So let's take that. And any other... Alright, nothing else here looks like it's intrinsically going to be super valuable. Alright. So let's just turn this into like a real like platform area. Which this isn't world grid aligned, is it? Let's have it be world grid aligned just for the sake of having it be that way. Alright, so we have a nice little platform now to do our planning on. So, organization, display sign, plop that down there. Motors. Alright, so we want 50 motors. Equals 100 rotors and 100 stators. Alright. So, stators are 100 of these is going to be, well, let's just set that to 1, or let's set that to 10 and multiply by 10, so that's 300 steel pipes, 800 wire. So let's just stop motors, make sure to write these down on the sign, so we have 100 rotors, 100 stators. Then we have the rotors and the stators. Alright, so 100 stators is 300 steel pipes and 800 wire. 300 steel pipes, 800 wire. And then the rotors is going to be 200 steel pipes and 600 wire. 200 steel pipes, 600 wire. So that is a lot. 500 steel pipes. It's much better than beams. Pipes are much better than beams. So that's nice. So let's get this in. So 500 pipes. There you are. And pipes. It's just called steel pipe. So we could do iron pipe. That would be somewhat egregiously inefficient, though. Let's see. That would be 2,000 iron ingots. Yeah, that's not happening. I am not getting 2,000 iron ingots under no circumstances. So let's do molded steel, which would be 500 steel, 300 concrete. That's still a lot of concrete, but it's at least manageable. Whereas this would be 750 steel. Honestly, I feel like just 750 steel is probably easier to manage, because it's 750 items versus 800 items, and the steel has like efficiency hacks, so it's more than one per thing, whereas the concrete doesn't. So yeah, let's go 750 steel ingots. 750 steel ingots. And then the steel ingots. Let's just work all the way through this side. So, steel ingots, 750 is 500 iron ingots, 500 coal, 500 iron ingots, 500 coal. And then the iron ingots are going to just be 500 iron ore, probably, unless we're going to add limestone here, which I don't really. Alright, so then that is iron ingots is just 500 iron ore. Easy enough. And that's just 2 miners on normal nodes overclocked, which should be relatively easy to get. Oh, man, finished. You never know when this will change something about your plans. Fine concrete, automated speed wiring, neither of those are incredible. Let's throw in a rescan. Alright, the rescan has simply failed, which means we must be pretty much done with scanning for this. So, we have 500 coal, 500 iron, and then we need to worry about the wire side of things, which is going to be 1400 wire, which Caterium wire at 140. So we would need 175 Caterium ingots for that. Or this at 140 would be. Yeah, I think we're going another gigantic fused wire setup. Unless, actually, we could cut copper out of it entirely and just go more iron. So this would be another 777 iron, which is a lot. That's a lot of iron. I don't like that being that much iron. So it would be better if it were just the default copper recipe, right? Because then this would be just 700. But like, that's not that much better, honestly. So I think we're going to go with fused wire again. So we need 186.67 copper, 46.67 deuterium. Alright. Wire. 186.667 copper ingots, and what was it? 46.667 deuterium ingots. 0.667 deuterium ingots. And why are you like this? Let's just shorten that to copper and deuterium. So then we need to deal with those. So the copper ingots are just 1-to-1. The copper alloy ingot could be convenient if we have more iron, but probably won't have more iron, although production rate of 100 would be nice to just get it done in 2 machines. But let's just say copper ore, because it's just going to be one node, right? Like basically any node except for an impure. So that's 186.667 copper ore. And the deuterium ingots are 3-to-1. So that is 46.667 times 3 is 140 deuterium ore. Deuterium ingots is 140 deuterium ore. Alright. So this is, again, just about manageable. The iron and coal requirements are rough, but fine. The copper and deuterium requirements are totally reasonable. And then it's just going to be a question of putting all this stuff together. So let's get the notes in. So we need 500 pipes, 1400 wire. And that is 750 steel ingots. Steel ingots, which is 500 iron ingots, 500 coal. And then we have just write down 500 iron ore as well. And then we have 186.667 copper ingots, 0.667 copper ingots, 46.667 deuterium ingots, and 186.667 copper ore, 186.667 copper ore, 140 Caterium ore. All right. That was a whole giant process, but we've done it. I'm just gonna delete all of that. All right, so we have all of this stuff now, and now we just need to start it up and make the factory. But I think we're going to leave that for next time. It's 4:30, so just about when I would be ending the stream. I don't really want to start a whole gigantic production line. So I think we're going to call it here for today. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Had a lot of fun. Got a lot of work done. We finished the phase. We collected a bunch of stuff. And actually, speaking of which, I should be crafting some SAM fluctuators for the upgrades, which will be happening soon. It's going to be so nice to have double speed on the dimensional storage input. We can actually build reasonably quickly and not be constantly running out. That'll be nice. So let's get at least some of those started up. Not in a huge rush since this hard drive is still scanning, which I believe is the last hard drive of this set. And we might even use iron alloy ingot to use some spare copper. That might help a little bit. But yeah, I think we're going to wind up here. I'm just going to finish scanning all these recipes, and yeah, so the ore processing stuff, we might not go exactly this route. Like, iron alloy ingot is, I think, pretty efficient, right? Iron alloy ingot is 8 to 2 for 15. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I will probably do that. And any other things in here which I might do? No, I think probably just that one. But yeah, so then that should all work out. And we will be doing that on Friday, so make sure to stop by if you're interested in the entire construction of a factory. Hopefully I can just start and finish it on Friday, although these frequently end up being 2-day jobs. This one is simple-ish, though. So yeah, if you're interested in that, make sure to stop by then. Otherwise, I'll be playing Foundry tomorrow, where we are deep in the weeds of a giant assembly line factory, so make sure to watch that out. We're in the end game now. I suspect we won't be going too much longer on Foundry, because I've just about done everything that I'm interested in doing in that game, but, I mean, not done yet, obviously. When I say not too much longer, I mean, like, maybe a month or two, not like a week or two. But, so yeah, if you're interested in Foundry, make sure to stop by then. And command research is finished. And yeah, as expected, we are out of extra rewards. So yeah, that's that. I will see you guys later. Make sure to follow if you haven't already. And